All right, guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the Unconventional Mindset. My name is Odum, and every day, Monday through Friday, we get together right here on YouTube and we live stream our process as we try to build ourselves a company which is going to generate us $1 million in revenue every single year. Last year, we made 100K. This year, we're hoping to make 250K. Let's see how that goes. Now, you're gonna excuse the mess. My office has totally been rearranged and I'm in total chaos right now. And all my computer screens and stuff are not where they're supposed to be. So I apologize if I can't see the comments or whatever, but I mean, I can see it. Everything's kind of on here, but we're gonna see how this thing goes today. And speaking of which, today, what we're gonna be doing is we are going to be going over, I think last year we made, it started last year anyways. I can't remember exactly how long it's been. Anyways, we made 4 initial scripts of videos that we were going to start producing on our YouTube channel. And we kind of set that aside because we were focusing on improving the product before we start marketing it, because the product just wasn't quite where it needed to be, even in order to get that initial feedback from customers. So that's where we are now. And I figured we'd just go back and review that and review what we did yesterday. And then we have basically a string of 5 videos that we can probably film, I would imagine, the rest of this week and over the weekend. And then next week have some content that is ready to go and propel us into our next, from next Q3, Q4, whatever you want to call it, the rest of the year, where we're going to be focusing pretty much 100% on marketing and trying to get people to know who we are and what it is that we do, and get using our software and giving us some feedback. So now I'm trying to share my screen and I don't think it's showing up, because why is it not showing up? Hang on a second here. Sharing screen, monitor. What is going on here? Okay, give me a second. So that's this screen. So sharing screen, it should be, hang on, it's got the wrong monitor, I think. Let me look here. Sorry, no, it has that. Oh, that's there. Okay. Wait, cancel. No, save. So I think you guys should be able to see my screen. And if you can't, let me know. You should be able to see Figma here that says path to 1 million. So this here is basically just kind of a very brief overview and reminder of who our audience is, and making sure that we kind of have the right tone for the people that we want to meet. And really, it's right here. It's our avatar. It's people that have basically 0 experience to maybe about 2 years experience, about that. And basically, they're a complete beginner and they want to learn how to build websites because they're trying to figure out how and if it's possible for them to make money building websites, whether it's a side hustle or they want to make this into a career, build an agency, whatever the case may be. That's what they want to learn. And that's what we're going to reach out and teach them. It's not necessarily so much that we want to push our specific product, but arm them with the knowledge of what it takes to actually go ahead and build websites, and using the tools that we use and even other tools as well. And then get them to know who we are, and establish that trust and all that kind of stuff, right? So that's what we're going with. And I'm just going to, okay, so I do believe you guys are seeing that. Okay, so I'm just taking a quick look on the screen. Okay, perfect. So that being said, let's take a look at some of our scripts to see what kind of videos we can have initially. So this is the one we did yesterday. It's Welcome to Piixel Pieces. Now, I didn't do too much of a change or updates to this one, but basically it goes here, and the purpose is just informational. Who the hell am I? And then what is the product? What does it do? And who is it for? So the script starts, hello and welcome. My name is Odum, and I am the founder of Piixel Pieces, a new WEBFLOW component and template library. I've been running web design and development agency, or I've been running this, whatever. I gotta figure out exactly how I'm going to say this, with an expertise in building WEBFLOW websites for my clients. Piixel Pieces has allowed us to significantly, I'm not sure exactly how to word that. It allows us to significantly decrease the amount of time we spend building websites, sometimes by as much as 80%. So, and then right now we have 400 high quality components for you to choose from, and we're growing our library, and we have plans to go up to 1,000. Hey, what's up? Plans hit, 1,000 by early next year. So our goal with Piixel Pieces is to save time, is to help you. With Piixel, our goal is to save you time. Yeah, it's to help you save time. I think we need to reword that. Our goal of this book is to help you, is to help you save time and money by giving you high quality components that will allow you to build websites fast. So you can spend more time with your family or more time doing the things that you love or making more money. And then using Piixel is simple. Then we just go over the three kind of things that you need to do. Number one, sign up for an account. And this is where I kind of put in where talking about where there's a free plan or versus the lifetime purchase, the option there. So you can either choose a free account and explore a selection of free components, or you can purchase a lifetime membership for a simple one-time payment. So that just puts a little seed in the mind of the audience, at least I'm hoping anyways, that this isn't your regular subscription service. This is something that you can just buy once and have access to for forever. So that's what I'm hoping comes across with that. And then you use our exploratory tools to quickly find the components you need, and then you copy and paste those into your project. And then then there's just B-roll of all those, me doing all that work of what I was just describing. And then ending here with our goal is to make Piixel Pieces the best resource to help you build high quality WEBFLOW websites. So I invite you to sign up for a free account and start building today. And maybe there's find out a better way to end that, but that's kind of the whole welcome message that's kind of going to be on our homepage. So this isn't so much of a tutorial. Actually, it's not a tutorial at all. It's more of a intro video to something that'll sit either probably on the homepage of Piixel Pieces or also when you kind of log in as well. So that's that. So now we got this other video, and this one is titled "How to Get a Website Up and Running in One Day with No Coding Skills and No Money." And this, I do believe, again, if we look back at our target audience of a person that has no experience and they want to learn how to build websites. And one of the great ways to learn how to use websites, I think anyways, is knowing the different tools and options that are available to you that are out there, and not just the options that I think are not that I think are the options, the ones that I personally use that are best for me. But that's not necessarily what's going to be best for you and best for other people as well too. So what I think with this one is I think we go through three different examples. So let's have a quick look here. So yeah, the purpose of this video to show the viewer, what did I just do there? To show the viewer that with just a little bit of effort, they can get their own website up and running in one day. Right, so let's just zoom in on this one just a little bit more. I think that's pretty good for you guys to see there. Okay. So what do we have for a script here? So I haven't, oh my goodness, this is a little tight. I gotta fix this. Right, so today we're gonna learn how to build a fully functional website on your own domain without writing any code, spending the least amount of money possible, and then I'd say between 30 and 50 bucks a month, and it'll only take us around 30 minutes. And this is, I wrote here, maybe I should do the work first and then film the intro after I know how much time it took. Yeah, so that's a good point. This video is going to take a little bit longer to do, but that's okay. I think this will be really educational and hopefully it'll be pretty valuable. So there are lots of different platforms out there to build a website with, but today we're going to focus on three of the more popular ones: WordPress, WEBFLOW, and Ghost. Okay, I like that. So in order to build a website, you need at a minimum these three things. 1, a domain. 2, some software to manage your content. And 3, a hosting plan to run and serve your website to your visitors. And then just B-roll overlaying what those things are. So we got a lot to cover today. Check out the timestamps below to skip to your favorite platform, and let's dive right in. In this video, we're not going to worry about doing any design work. We're just going to be purchasing themes. We're getting a free one and getting our website up and running. It's just the basics of getting something up and running. So I say that up twice. So this video will not teach you how to design a website. You'll be purchasing themes so we can get up and running. Right. In this video, we are not going to worry about doing any design work. We are just going to be purchasing themes so we can get up and running as quickly as possible. This video is just the basics. And we can learn how to design. Yeah, we can learn how to design later. And then maybe something. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like me to make those videos. Something like that. Okay. So, and I think A here is just for your A roll versus B roll. I think that's what that's for. All right. Our first step is to buy our domain. Now for this tutorial, we're going to launch 3 different websites. So we're going to purchase 3 domains and we'll buy all 3 of them now, right? So we're going to go into, yeah, there's Google Domains. Google Domains is actually not even a thing anymore. I think they're discontinuing that, if I do remember correctly. So we should do something, say something other than Google Domains. What's another registrar? Like HostGator? Where is another registrar? Now I'm trying to think. Let's go best registrars to buy a domain. Let's see what the best registrars are here. I've never even heard of any of these. Oh, except, well, I mean, I've heard of DreamHost and Bluehost, but not as just a place to buy a domain. Maybe DreamHost. Let me take a look at DreamHost here for a second. I know I've used DreamHost before, but yeah, they're more web hosting, right? What do they do with domains? Straightforward domain pricing. Yeah, I don't have a problem with DreamHost. GoDaddy 4.2. I've never heard of this company before. Ionis? Ionis? Is that what it's called? Can I see this? This is going to be build your brand on great domain. See stuff for Canada. $1 for a year. That's pretty cheap. .ai, $55. .cloud, interesting. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of new extensions. Okay, so anyways, let's not get caught up into the weeds here. Such as, let's just say DreamHost and GoDaddy, but I like to use Namecheap. It doesn't really matter which company you use, but if you want to follow along with me, then I recommend you use Namecheap, as you'll be able to follow my steps exactly. Okay. And then this is just a B-roll. So this is where I know that when I'm reading the script, I know that I don't have to be looking to the camera or anything just like this when I'm actually, reading the script, right? Because I know there's going to be some overlay, right? So I'll say, okay, so here we are in Namecheap, and we have our 3 domains in our shopping cart that we are going to buy. Just fill out the details or whatever and go, yeah. Screen record everything and talk about what I'm doing. Okay, that makes sense. Note, I'll screen record everything and talk about what I'm doing at the same time with hopes that my voiceover will be good so that I don't have to redo it and voice over the edited footage. Okay, so basically record myself buying 3 domains. We'll have to get some sample dummy domains, I guess, to think of what we want to buy. All right, excellent. We have our domains. Now let's get our website going. First up, WordPress. So WordPress is the most popular content management system in the world, and you have tens of thousands of themes and plugins available to you for you to build the website of your dreams. But there are 2 fundamental things to know about WordPress. Number 1, there is the base code for WordPress, which controls the functionality of your website. And 2, you can add a theme to your WordPress site, which controls the look and feel to your WordPress site, which controls the look and feel of your website. I feel like saying site, website, a little too many sites going on here. I think that's okay. Those are kind of small little details. A good analogy would be to say that WordPress is like a house where the base WordPress code is the foundation, framework, plumbing, electrical, etc. And the theme is the paint, decor, furniture, and accessories within the house, which give it its style. And if you don't like the look of your house, you can easily, I think should be a comma here. You can easily replace everything with a brand new theme. So let's start by getting our theme. There are some amazing themes out there that give you a lot of control for how to lay out all the pages on your website. And if you have a little bit of money, I would recommend checking out ThemeForest to purchase a professional theme or something else. I might go something else now, ThemeForest. I mean, they've done some updates with their what is it called? Like their marketplace. So I'm not sure if that's the best place to get WordPress websites right now. But I'll do another quick review and find a good place. But for today, we're going to keep things as cheap as possible and use a free theme. And then this is the free theme, and here's where we can download it. Okay, we have our domain, we have our theme. All that is left to do is find a place to host everything. Now, when it comes to hosting, there are a lot of options out there for you. And like most things in life, you get what you pay for. I'm going to give 2 options that I've used in the past that I can recommend. The cheap is Bluehost, but the option that I like best is, WordPress hosting is Flywheel. They are dedicated to only hosting WordPress sites, so they've really optimized their system and make it very easy to manage your WordPress site. Let's dive into our account. So let's go in there. So setting up our theme and site, blah, blah. Need to configure our domain so that, configuring the domain, launch website, and there we go. We have our WordPress website up and running. So that's good. So WEBFLOW is a visual editor and hosting platform. Okay. All in one, which gives you the power to create a fully functional website without writing any code. It is right now my absolute favorite tool for building websites, and it's what I use to build websites for all my clients. So all we need to get started is to create an account, purchase a theme, configure our domain, and publish our website. Let's get started. Should I use Piixel Pieces or, right. Should I use Piixel Pieces account or create a new one? I'm thinking to create a new one and then transfer the website over. See if I can switch over things to look the same. What do I mean by that? So I'm just thinking about when I wrote this, what it could possibly mean. Because I think I want to walk the users through the process of what it even looks like to just create a new WEBFLOW website, right? Or a WEBFLOW account. I think we should just create a new one. I'm just going right back up here for a second with WordPress, and there's no talk about where to actually download WordPress itself. Oh, but I think when you go with WordPress engine, you don't have to. So, I could say something about one of the great things about using a hosting provider that is dedicated to WordPress, you don't need to worry about downloading the latest version because it already comes pre-installed. Right. Okay. So talk about, now they have our account, we need to find a theme. So let's go to the marketplace and then we'll go find a theme and then load it and publish. I mean, that'll be super fast. That's going to be super easy and super fast. It's be like, hey, look how quickly it is. Look how quickly you can do it for. So that's it. If you want to learn how to use WEBFLOW to really start customizing or building your own theme, I highly recommend you go through the university where they walk you through all the basics. But again, if you want to make me specific tutorials, I can certainly do that. Right, our total cost for WEBFLOW is this for the domain, Y for the theme, and then total for the hosting. And I think this 276 is if it's a CMS, which we're going to assume it is. All right, and then Ghost. Ghost is a fantastic platform that focuses on publishing. It was created out of frustration from WordPress getting too big, trying to meet the needs of so many different types of users. I love this platform, and it's perfect for cultivating and building an audience. I love this platform. Because of its simplicity, and it's just perfect for cultivating and building an audience. Ghost makes it super easy to blog, podcast, write newsletters, and even sell membership. I'll say it makes it easy to podcast. It makes it easy to host podcasts, and even sell memberships. Like WEBFLOW, all we need to do is get started. Like WEBFLOW, all we need to do to get started is create an account. Let's create an account. Then pick a theme. And finally publish. So then we create our theme or create our account. We go over the theme and pick a free one we like. And there are differences between paid versus free. We can pick our starter plan, and this is in the Ghost. When you're signing up for Ghost, you can pick the plan that you want. Then we install our theme. We configure the domain in Namecheap, and then we publish. So that's it. So yeah, so there you have it. 3 quick and easy ways to get your very own website up and running in 30 minutes or less. What tool you choose really depends on what type of content you want to create, what type of flexibility in design you're looking for, and how much time you want to invest into learning how to do these things for yourself. Hands down, if you're looking to build something like a membership site or a newsletter, then you can't go wrong with Ghost, as it has everything you need, and they don't take fees, which is amazing. As they don't charge transaction fees, which is amazing. If you just want a quick website with low maintenance and easy editing, then go with WEBFLOW. With WordPress, I can't really recommend you go with them, considering that WEBFLOW and Ghost can do most of what WordPress can do while doing it better. However, there are 2 exceptions. Rolando, how you doing? Welcome. I'm hoping my comments are coming through. I can't see my screens here because I'm moving my office around, but I think that's comments coming through. Let me know if it's not. But anyways, hello and welcome. How you doing today? Hope you're doing well. Right, with WordPress. So Rolando, sorry, I know you love WordPress. I love WordPress too, but considering who this audience is for the absolute beginner wanting to get into web design. There are 2 exceptions. If you want something really complex, you might consider going with WordPress because it is very flexible, but of course that makes it not very beginner friendly. 2, because it is so popular, it won't be hard to find other designers or developers to work on it with you in the future if that's what you think you'll end up doing. And that's it. Those are the 3 ways to get up and running with a website with no money, very little money, and no code. Hope you, and then just end it real quick. Don't need to fluff and ramble on as I tend to do. So that's video number 1. I actually really like this. I think this is going to be a fantastic video. It's going to take, this is one of those things where I'll take a full day to just do the actual work, film everything, film the screenshots and all that stuff, or I guess it'd be the screencast, I think is what it would be called if I record my screen, and then edit everything down into one nice quick, 10-minute video, as short as I possibly can. So I like this. Let's save this. That's going to be a great video. At least, I hope it's going to be a good video. All right. Video number 2. Zoom in again here. So, let's see what I wrote here. This has been a while. I can't even remember what I said when I wrote this, but hey, let's have a look. And then it's actually kind of nice to go back on these scripts that we wrote last year just to see if they still make sense and if I still think it's has some valuable content, and if it still makes sense to me. All right, the purpose is to highlight the benefits of using a no-code tool like WEBFLOW and to promote the use of WEBFLOW as an option to non-tech-savvy individuals. So in 2005, I exclusively used WordPress to make websites for my clients, but in 2021, I switched over to only using WEBFLOW, and it has been the best decision I've made for me and my business. I think maybe you should say for my business. It's not me personally, because I still have no problems using WordPress, but I wouldn't. But yeah, I made for my business. Here are 7 reasons why I made this switch. Number 1, no maintenance. With WordPress, they're always coming up with new releases. When I started with WordPress, it was on version 2.3, And now it's all the way at 6.2. It's probably even, where is WordPress at nowadays? Let's find out. WordPress.org should still be the site. Get WordPress. 6.6.1. I wonder when WordPress 7 is going to come out. That's got to be pretty soon. Looking at this. See, look at this. Since I even wrote this, it was at 6.2. Now it's 6.1. Of course, having your code up to date is a good thing with continual improvements and such. But as time goes on, there's just more and more maintenance to do to make sure that any old code that you've written for all your websites doesn't break with new updates. The more websites you manage, the more maintenance work builds over time, which makes your business harder to scale. With WEBFLOW, the site with WEBFLOW, I'll say your sites automatically update, and you don't ever have to worry about anything breaking. If it worked yesterday, it'll work today. Number 2, no more. Rolando, sorry, I'm trying to. The way that my computer is, everything's so far away for me to read the comments. I would leave him for myself. Generates trust. I would leave him for myself. Am I missing something? Where is that comment in relation to? Sorry, I don't know if the comment came up with something else, or is this like why you're gonna leave? Yeah, sorry, I'm not quite sure what that's referring to. So sorry about that. I apologize. But generates trust. I think the whole thing, the whole thing at the point of all these videos of what I want to do is to build trust and to generate trust with my audience, and at least just tell people the truth. And at the end of the day, this is like 100% true for anything. Like, I'm not going to be, oh, I see what you mean. I would leave the for me because that generates. Oh, okay, I got it. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Maybe that's why I had it before. What's our blah blah blah. Yeah, for me and my business. Yeah, okay, cool. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. I guess it is the best decision for me and my business. My business and I, we're like one and the same. We're like the same person. This is my little baby, which I'm trying to grow into this bigger baby that just makes a lot of money. All right. Right. Okay. No more plugins. If you've ever used WordPress before, you'll notice that you can quickly become dependent on a lot of different plugins to increase the functionality of your website. That is great to get up and running quickly, but again, with each new plugin you add on, that's another piece of code that you have to maintain with each new update. And you also have to be careful about the quality of code within plugins, and some of them have code which can leave your site vulnerable to attack. Yeah, so nothing's worse than having a plugin maybe being a little bit out of date, or maybe it's not maintained as well as it should be, and then it leads you vulnerable to some security issues because of however it was really written. Does that mean it's a bad thing? No, there's lots of fantastic plugins out there, like really, really good plugins that really do a great job with WordPress. So yeah, but like anything, you got to be careful. Rolando says, remember, there are two, I got to get my better glasses or a bigger screen here. This is just on a new, I have a, what's it called? A teleprompter. So the comments are on there, which is really, really small for me to see. Okay. Can I zoom? Is there a way to make that text even bigger? No, it doesn't work. Okay. Remember, there are two entities, you, what suits you, and your business, what it generates. So is that in relation to, in terms of what I'm trying to do? Like, obviously for me, I'm trying to generate business for people that want a WEBFLOW website. Like, that's what suits me. And I guess that's what I'm trying to elaborate on here with this video. So, yeah. So I think that's what you're speaking to. I could be wrong, but yeah, it's always thinking about what's good for you and thinking about what's good for the audience that we're trying to generate here. But this one here is, I think the purpose of this specific video is more to reach a person that might be on YouTube and they might be searching, hey, you know, what's the best platform for me to build websites on? And maybe through my experience anyway, nudge them towards WEBFLOW, and then they get start learning the WEBFLOW platform, whether it's through me or through somebody else, it doesn't matter. Like I would love to see the WEBFLOW platform grow, right? Which is kind of why I recommend it. So yeah. So new screen. Yeah. Are you going to put up a movie screen or what? That would be nice. I was thinking of a TV, to be honest, thinking about how it would work out if even if this live stream, even if I have live guests, if I can talk to guests and have this be more of a podcast scenario where we talk with other people that are entrepreneurs and business owners and doing their own things, what have you. So that's one thing that I've been thinking about. But what I have here, I have my teleprompter set up here, and then it's kind of against the wall. But this teleprompter is going to help me when I'm doing videos, and then this text will be on the teleprompter so I can kind of have it on there so I can kind of read it while still maintaining direct eye contact. So that's going to be a big thing. But yeah, changing the whole office. I got to figure out how to make this thing a really creative space. Like I want to be able to come into this space, number one, feel really good about being inside here. And then I could just sit down, press record on a couple things, and then just be done with it. And I still owe you a whole office tour of this whole place. I haven't forgotten, but I need to clean this out. Maybe get some more lights. I mean, I have a bunch of lights, but maybe even more lights, and just have more cameras, more different camera angles. I love to do multi-camera angles for this live stream as well too. Yeah, just thinking about how ways I can really kind of up the production of this live stream, because I don't know, I have so much fun doing this live stream, and just thinking if there's any other things that I can do to make it better. So yeah, that's so new screens, monitors. Yeah, we should have like a movie, should watch like entrepreneurial movies. And just sit down on Friday nights and have like entrepreneur movie night, and we'll watch like Moneyball and what other entrepreneurial movies are there? I'm sure there's a bunch of them. There's that really horrible one which I absolutely can't stand. What is that movie called? It's a movie where there's a lady and she ends up learning how to deal in the seniors' homes and taking care of older folks in homes, and then she basically like kidnaps them and put them into homes, and then she ends up climbing in the ranks by having these like really shady practices of like taking advantage of elderly people. And it's just like the most horrible movie I've ever seen in terms of having such a disgustingly dislikable main character, protagonist lady that's just such a horrible human being. Anyways, but hey, she's an entrepreneur. She does stuff by screwing over people. Oh, it was ridiculous. Anyways, back to the scripts here. No more plugins. Yeah. If you've ever used WordPress, blah, blah, blah. I think we talked about that. Yep. So number 3, speaking of being vulnerable to attack, with WEBFLOW, I don't have to worry about security. That is all handled by WEBFLOW. I've never had to deal with any of my WEBFLOW sites being attacked, but if that did happen, I imagine that their customer service department will be there to help me out quickly. And I say, and this is where I'm going to be like super honest. Like, you know what? I don't know for sure. I'm speculating, but I've had only positive experiences with them, and I've never had a website get hacked. But if anything does happen, they're always kind of on the case, right? So it's just, I guess what I'm saying here, and what I'll make clear, is that I'm just putting my faith in them that they will handle any kind of breaches like that seriously, because that's their business, that's their livelihood. If their site is seen as insecure, then, you know, there's a problem. But then again, everything gets hacked. Like, name one big, huge website, or any website, you know, well, not every website's been hacked, but websites get hacked. It's just kind of the nature of the beast, but you just want things, obviously, to be as secure as possible. And you want to have a dedicated team that is going to be responsive and open, honest, and transparent when such things happen. But of course, when you're using WEBFLOW, when you're using WordPress, you know, you're responsible for yourself to making sure that, you know, your site or what have you doesn't get hacked. Anyways, number 4, speed of launching. It is much faster for me to go from 0 to a fully featured website with WEBFLOW than it is with WordPress, especially when you start working with components in WEBFLOW. Hey, shout out to Piixel Pieces, which are website sections which you can cut and paste into any project. Now, I'm pretty fast at writing HTML and CSS to build out. Now, I'm pretty fast at writing HTML, CSS to build out a custom WordPress theme. But even so, it takes a fraction of the time to build in WEBFLOW than it does in WordPress. Right. But I will say, I think this is something to say something to be fair. So, to be fair, I really do miss writing writing code by hand. You have infinite flexibility. With what you build. But that's where the time, for me anyways, that's where the time time, that's not the right word I'm looking for. The time difference? What's the word I'm looking for? Something, anyways, this is where the time difference comes into play, right? Where if you're writing code by hand, even if you're fast at it, you still have to do it by hand. And you have to take the time to figure out what you're going to use and how everything's going to work together. But then if you're just using components or something that's kind of pre-built, you just kind of cut and paste and away you go. So it's that trade-off there. So that's the difference between writing it by yourself or just taking something that's already kind of pre-built. Assuming that what's pre-built is up to your standards. So that is the trade-off. Trade-off between using something that is custom versus no code. Now, maybe I'll say, so if you really want to get hands-on and learn how to code, then WordPress might be the better option for you. But then again, maybe something like Ghost might be better for you as well, too, depending on what you want to do. Okay, content editing is much easier in WEBFLOW, and my clients love it. I should say even absolutely love it, because that's the feedback that I've gotten from my clients. Absolutely, jeez. Content editing is much easier in WEBFLOW, and my clients absolutely love it. When it comes to my clients, I haven't had one come to me yet to complain about the editor in WEBFLOW. It is ridiculously easy to edit content. Don't need to say that twice. Edit content, and the interface is really easy to teach. Granted, the WordPress editor isn't that bad, but I find that most websites nowadays love to use a site building tool, or maybe a page builder tool. A page building tool like Elementor, which is, in my opinion, the opposite of an easy-to-use interface. I think they have done a fantastic job with it, but when I have to teach a client how to use it, it generally comes with pages and pages of instructions. So I like to avoid longer instructions if I have to hand off a website to a client. And I've even just had a debate last week with a potential client about all that stuff, the differences between WordPress and using another platform other than WordPress. Now this one is a little weird because technically you can get by using WEBFLOW and WordPress without writing any code. But with WEBFLOW being built specifically with no code in mind, the interface is just that much better. Okay, what the hell am I just saying? This sentence makes no sense. Now this one is a little weird because technically you can get by using both WEBFLOW and WordPress without writing any code. Okay, so this sentence has to deal with basically WEBFLOW being a better no-code editor than WordPress. I think that's the point here I'm trying to make. Right. So, okay, this is a no-code thing. I need to rewrite this a little bit because it doesn't quite make sense. WEBFLOW is built specifically as a no-code tool, which is great for people new to design and development. So technically, you can use WordPress without writing a single line of code. But WebFlow's really, they're better at it, right, than WordPress is as a no-code tool, because it was just built as a no-code tool. Technically, you absolutely can. Let's just be, you can use WordPress without writing a single line of code. But WebFlow's interface. WebFlow's interface is just so much better for allowing you to build complex features without knowing how to code. Right. But then I could say, with that being said, there are times where I find myself wishing I could code something up quickly. Just code something up quickly. WebFlow, which does not, yeah. So basically what I want to see, or what I want to say here, is that sometimes when I'm doing something in WebFlow, I would love to just be able to do some quick code, but it doesn't allow me to, which again, will speak to some of the videos that I'm going to be doing, or the video that I will be doing, about the limitations that I have with WebFlow, and like my top 5 things that just make me wish WebFlow would fix, or that make me want to pull my hair out or makes my hair fall out, because it's not perfect. It's definitely not a perfect platform. I mean, is there such a thing as a perfect platform? I mean, other than Piixel Pieces, obviously. With that being said, there are times when I find myself wishing I could code up something quickly in WebFlow. There are times where I find myself wishing I could code up something quickly in WebFlow. And I think I could just leave it at that. But those times are, I could say, those times are few and far in between. And as WebFlow keeps improving, it only gets better and easier to work with. I'll say, but where the no-code features of WebFlow really start to shine is when you start working with other applications and connecting them together with a tool like Zapier. The only process is made to work with very smooth. What does I'll just say. Okay, I don't think I proofread this one, or have gone back and like rewritten some of these sentences, because this makes no sense. The only process is made to work very smoothly. And while, yeah, this doesn't make any sense. It's when you start working with other applications and connecting them together with a tool like Zapier. This tool allows me to, what's the best way to say this in plain English? Like, it allows me to pass data from one application to the other. Data from one application to the other. and building, say, dynamic applications without me having to hire out a developer, as I would certainly have to do if I was building it in WordPress. As I would have to do if I was building in WordPress. All right. And then finally, I have to mention speed, site speed. With WordPress, you have plugins, custom code, and hosting platforms to consider, which all affect how fast your website loads. Loading speed is really important when it comes to SEO, and knowing that WEBFLOW compiles all your code and optimizes your site automatically is huge. I know that my sites are going to load as fast as possible no matter what, but with WordPress, you always have to be very careful with how your site is performing, and if you really value speed, which you should, you'd have to pay extra to get that premium hosting service that specializes in WordPress hosting, which is one thing that I talked about in the script before. Right. So, and then we're not diving into the weeds here about like really fleshing out any of these things. This is kind of a quick overview of 7 things of the reasons for why I decided to switch over from WordPress to WEBFLOW in my business. And like for real, like these are like legit reasons. I'm not like saying these just to say them, but these are the actual things that I considered. What platform do I want to specialize in? And this is the platform. And the other thing too, which I didn't mention here, but I can't validate this one, is that I do think that this is going more towards what the future of web design is going to be and what web development is going to be. I think it's going to be less and less people doing hard coding, especially for small websites, right? Less and less people using hard coding and using more complex tools. And people are going to want to go for things that are more simpler and just easier to use. And that just kind of work, right? You know, I think gone are the days of having, I mean, not gone, but having to build a website, but then you have to pour it in like 10 different plugins just to get some basic functionality working. So that kind of sucks. So anyways, but again, it's a trade-off though. WEBFLOW is the same kind of thing though. Sometimes if you want specific functionality, you're gonna have to build it in yourself too. So there's, it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah. All right. So those are the 7 reasons why I switched from WordPress to WEBFLOW. If you're a WordPress fan, I totally get it. I was too, and in some ways I still am. There's still a place for WordPress, as WEBFLOW will never be able to do everything that WordPress can do. Yeah, absolutely. Nor should it. Bottom line, as with most things in life, you need to look at what your needs are and to find the proper tool that will meet your specific needs and just make the decision based on that. Record my interactions and work while building sites in WEBFLOW and use the footage throughout the video. Okay, that's for B-roll. Okay, so that's video number 2. I think that'll be another good video. Well, I mean, we'll see. Sorry, another comment here. Rolando. Let's see if I can bring that up there. Like my father said, I'll be back now. So like my father, I'll be back now. I'm going for cigarettes. Is that one of those? That's what he said. And never to return again. Yeah, I don't know if that's from, I'm sure that's in from a bunch of movies. That sounds very, very familiar. Just went down to the corner store to pick up a 6-pack and some smokes, and then never to be seen from again. All right. Okay, let's see. We got so that's number 2. So video number 3. Getting started with WEBFLOW. This should be interesting. So what's the purpose of this video? To give the absolute beginner a rundown on how to get up to speed with WEBFLOW as quickly as possible so they can start building their own website. We want them to be comfortable enough to jump right into WEBFLOW without feeling intimidated, but also give them the resources they need in order to learn more about HTML and CSS and how to correctly structure their website. Okay, so let's see what we got. Today we are going to learn the most fundamental thing that you need to know about how websites are made in order to understand how WEBFLOW works and how you can get up to speed making your own website as quickly as possible. So we're going to talk about the building blocks, eh? Interesting. So the first thing you need to know how it's made at the basic level, right? So we have two coding languages. I don't know why that's in quotation marks. HTML and CSS. HTML is the code that structures the content. CSS is the code that tells your browser how to display the content, which is the style, right? And have an illustration of HTML structure and then the CSS structure and what that does. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's interesting. I wonder how, I mean, there's lots of videos on this. We'll see. Yeah, I'll see if this is going to be the way to go. All right. For example, on a web page, you typically have a header, a menu, some headings, text, images, and a footer. And then show that as an illustration. The HTML of that page contains all the information that goes on the page, all the words, the images, and the structure or sections of the website. The CSS, on the other hand, tells the browser how to style all those elements in the HTML. For example, it might say, make all the titles 50 pixels and in size and be bright red. Or it might say, give the footer a black background, make the text white, and have it only expand 50% of the browser window. Take a website and simplify it into their most simple blocks. This will lead into WEBFLOW and how you create these blocks and use CSS to control their location and appearance, right? So then a great way to think about it is in terms of building blocks. Each web page can be broken down into blocks with each block containing a related set of information. For example, a header usually contains things like the logo, navigation. A hero section usually contains an introductory statement, a call to action, and an image or video. And once you have all your blocks set up, you can place them anywhere on your canvas, or in this case, the browser window, and then style them in a way that you want. See, I imagine with this video where it's either going to be animated, where we'll use different blocks on screen so you can see, hey, this is the header, this is whatever, and you just show how you could shuffle and move them around on a canvas or on a website or on a web page. So either we'll do it through animation, or have a top-down view where I literally just have like pieces of paper that say like header, like menu, navigation, hero section, blog posts, and just literally slide those pieces of paper together and like have them cut up and just slide them on like my table. And then you could see kind of how you can just fit things together basically like a puzzle, right? Right. So yeah, once you have a block set up, you can place them anywhere on your canvas. Yeah. So let's jump into WEBFLOW so we can see how to put these blocks, how to put together these blocks. So have a very basic website layout that you want to showcase and start using the panel tags and CSS. Right. So we'll take those blocks that we've done, either again, whether it's on my table as just a real practical, effect, or whether it's going to be 3D or just animated in DaVinci Resolve, just using Fusion or whatever. So we'll just take that and we'll duplicate those blocks in WEBFLOW. And have the very basic way to showcase how you start using the panels. Right. So we have them, and then we talk about how we can use the CSS. So on the panel, we'll just do things like, here's how you update this piece of this section. This is how you update the colors, the text, and all that kind of stuff. And then we can see how things update. And I guess we're just going to give a very basic overview of the different panels and how you can use them. And maybe very, 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 very basic. Because then I talk about, and there you have it, everything you need to know to get started making websites in WEBFLOW. So understand the layout that you want for your website, lay them out, add your content, and then away you go. So that's super, super just getting started like that. So obviously there's so much more to learn. There is so much more to learn when it comes to building websites, other than this 5-minute video. There's typography, there's color theory, there's information architecture, there's knowing how to do the HTML, CSS, and I could even say JavaScript code. There's usability, accessibility, and I encourage you to take a look at all the resources linked in the description below. These are great guides to get you well on your way to learning how to build great websites. So not bad. I think this whole section here, this is gonna have to be fleshed out a little bit more when I'm actually in WEBFLOW and doing some building and moving around. So I'll probably do, again, a screen recording, start moving things around and playing around and just talking, and we'll see what we can edit in the on the editing room, what stays in the edit, and then what ends up on the, on the cutting room floor, basically. Okay. Video number 4. 3 reasons. 3 reasons why you don't build websites to impress other designers. Yeah, this is like a super hard lesson for me to learn. Right, so the purpose here is to make sure that new and intermediate web designers understand that each project doesn't have to be made just so that they could win awards on some award website. It's about serving the needs of your client and making sure you serve the needs of their customers as well, right? So, start off. Yeah, don't build websites to impress other designers. This is something that took me almost 5 years to figure out on my way to building my own creative agency. Today, I want to share with you 3 things that you should keep in mind as you grow as a creative. For me, I'm a web designer, but this can apply to any type of creative work that you do. Example, if you're a photographer, an illustrator, an animator, etc. Number 1, it's not about what you want. When I first started making websites, I'd look up to a bunch of designers whose work I admired and found myself always comparing my work to theirs. Of course, in my mind and in reality, my work wasn't as good as theirs, and that inevitably led up to a lot of negative self-criticism. Now, I do think it's really important to be constructive when gauging your work and your skill level, and to be constructive, I say, and realistic when gauging your work and your skill level. But this was far beyond constructive. For a time, I lost sight of what the purpose of building a website was. It wasn't to stroke my ego and make me feel good because I loved, for a time, I lost sight of what the purpose of building a website was. It wasn't to stroke my ego and make me feel good because I loved the way the website looked. It was to make sure that the website I built was loved by my client. Right. So I could say, for me, a good website was one. How can I say this? For me, the only good website I built was one that I thought looked good. Didn't matter. It didn't matter if the functionality wasn't quite there. If it looked good, I thought I was a good designer. And I'll say, but the reality is, the purpose of building a website is to make sure that I built something that was loved by my client. That leads me into point number 2. Design with purpose, not eye candy. Building a website that looks amazing, that looks amazing, just say uses, not even the latest, just uses fancy interactions and animations. and technically is something that you're super proud of, none of that matters at all if the website doesn't solve the client's problem. You have to move beyond your ego and start to look at solving problems with design, not winning a, that looks awesome from other designers. Maybe a badge from other designers. Maybe I should make some, maybe I should make a badge. That looks awesome. Some of the most successful sites in the world would never win any awards from design sites, but that doesn't mean they, some of the most successful awards, but that doesn't mean they aren't awesome. They aren't awesome websites. A great website is one that people know how to use, love to use, come back all the time to use, and quite frankly, just works. 9 times out of 10, how it looks has very little to do with how much people like using it or how good it'll be at solving your client's problem. So take care of your clients. Take care of your clients. Help them solve their problems. Help them do better in their business. And before you know it, you'll have more work from people who are looking for websites that solve problems, not just sit there. So take care of your clients, help them solve their problems, help them do better in their business, and before you know it, you'll have, what did I say? What was it before? Take care of your clients. Before you know it. So take care of your clients, help them solve their problems, help them do better in their business. And before you know it, people will be coming to you to help them solve problems. Say real business problems. Not just build a website that looks pretty. Right. And finally, number 3, this took me a while to learn. It takes a lot of high-level skill and experience to consistently design websites that are worthy of awards. Yes, there are still sites that are amazingly easy to use, solve the client's problem while blowing people away with the creativity of the site. But here's what you typically don't see. 1, these projects have huge budgets associated with them. There are teams of people that spend months and months thinking about all the aspects of the project, the branding, the user experience, the market analysis, the information architecture, all kinds of things. And 3, these people have been working at their craft for years and even decades. It takes a lot of skill to get to that level. So stop trying to compare yourself to all those people that are really, really good. Look up to them, learn from them, but don't be down on yourself when you work for a couple of days and you don't have a website that looks like, those websites that took like a team of people 4 months to build. Like, that's crazy, right? It's pretty hard to compete with all these factors when you're working with clients who want a new website for $3,000. Give yourself some slack, and in time you'll grow from these $3,000 projects into the $3,000 ones. So those are the 3 things I've learned in my 15 years of designing websites that have helped me quiet my very critical self and focus on critical and ego-driven, maybe self. Not just critical. I think it's okay. Yeah. And focus on making my clients happy, which at the end of the day now is the only thing that I care about. There we go. And that is video number 4. All right. I like these videos. I think this getting started with WEBFLOW is going to be a longer video. This why I switched from WordPress. Not as much. Basically, video 1 and 3 are going to take the most amount of time to do because there's going to be lots of B-roll with video and lots of things I'm going to have to do on the screen capture to be able to get all the shots that I need for this video. But anyways, those 4 videos, I think they're going to be really good, and I think we can get a pretty good run on creating all of these ones by having them ready by next week. So today's already Wednesday. It's going to be tight, but I think we can make some pretty good progress. And of course, create our introductory video as well. So that's going to be nice to do. Hang on a second, let's bring up a few things here. Yeah, so that's going to be good. So, all right. So I think with that being said, I think I'll end it here, and I'm going to get to work getting the set ready so we can have a little bit of something to look at. Or maybe it'll just be kind of this. Maybe I'll put a picture or two up in the background. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, we're just going to get to it. Get into creating some content and getting people to know who we are. That's what it is. It's marketing, and we're going to keep plugging away at this. It's going to be a slow grind, but we'll see how it goes. All right, guys. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm not sure what we'll do tomorrow. Maybe some more script writing, maybe some video editing. I'm not sure. We'll see where we are after tonight. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Rolando, thank you so much for tuning in. Much appreciate you showing up as always. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. And as always, I'll be back here again tomorrow for a brand new live stream. Until then, take it easy. We'll see you tomorrow.